live from under the umbrella. It's just in. It's raining. It works pretty good. It's raining pretty hard out right now, as you can hear. It's so incredibly peaceful. Like, big time. Sitting here listening to the rain, all nice and warm in my coat, my sweater, my pants, my long johns, my winter boots. When the wind doesn't blow, I don't get too much rain, and my pants are still dry. So that's a good thing. I keep looking at the record button instead of the camera, because I'm a noob. I'm not too swabby with the lives and all that stuff, and the camera in my face. But yeah, it's really peaceful. I suggest you try it. This is a small umbrella, but get a big umbrella. Next time you know it's gonna rain, go for a walk. And people say don't go under trees when it's raining because of lightning and all that, you know. I've been doing that since I was a kid. I go under the biggest tree I can find because it has so many branches on it and leaves that there's not much rain that gets through it. You know? I've never been struck, thank God. Oh, I have some lightning stories though. I almost did get struck. I guess I'll give it to you. Here you go. I was dating a girl I knew in high school, and this was after high school. She finally admitted she liked me, right? So we ended up dating for about a year. And I was mowing my lawn one day, right? And no, actually that's another story. It's about a little rabbit. I ran over a rabbit with my lawnmower, and he survived, and me and her raised him. Right till he was better. Well, I did, but I brought him over to her place, with her mom, so she could see it. But yeah, anyways, I was coming back from her house. She has a cat, so I get choked up because I have allergies, right? So I didn't spend the night a lot. I'd wait until she'd sleep. Once she was sleeping, like in my arms, I'd crawl out of bed, then go home, right? Like she knew, because the cat. So it was one of those days. It was supposed to rain, but it didn't. It was supposed to rain all day, all night. It didn't rain though. It was just really heavy forecast. There was no lightning, no nothing. I'm walking along a fence that's along a railroad. I could go along the city streets, but I took the forest route because it's shorter, like half hour shorter. So I'm walking along the fence. It's a fence of a manufacturing plant. It's got barbed wire on it and all that. I just crossed the rail tracks. It's only about 15 feet from the fence. And as I'm walking along the fence, all of a sudden I hear bzzz, like that, eh? And I'm like, what the? And the fence was rattling, right? And it just hit me like when the pitch got so high, like bzzz, it went really high. I didn't even think it. Like there was no thinking, no reaction. I just down to the ground, man, spread out like an eagle, you know? All my arms, all my legs totally spread right out. And then I hear bang, and I see a loud flash, even though my eyes were closed. And I open my eyes and I look, and the fence is just rattling like it got hit by a Mack truck. And I saw some sparks just dissipating when I looked quick, right? So I'm looking at it. I look back ahead of me like this, and right in front of me, like literally like where that leaf is, well, a little bit further, where the ledge is a rabbit. And he's spread out all fours too. And he's looking at the fence. And when he turns his head to look straight, just like I did, I got to put it all together. And as soon as he turns his head, he looks at me, right? I look at him, and I'm expecting him to jump again. He doesn't jump. He turns his head, he looks at the fence again. I turned and looked at the fence. It's still rattling, right? And then when I looked straight at him. He did the same thing. He turned his head, and then when he saw me, he just boop, up and off he goes, right? And I thought, stay down, right? And then I was like, no, listen to the rabbit, follow the rabbit. So that's exactly what I did. I got up and left, right? And then I put it all together, like, after getting up, like, I came so close to being struck by lightning. It was right beside me, and the fence was, like, where that tree is. This little tiny white tree, like, not even 8 feet from here, 7 feet. So as I'm walking by it, it was my body creating the charge in the fence until it got so much, because moving objects do that, it charges it, right? But yeah, it's kind of cool. Me and the little rabbit, we both had the same experience where we both almost died by lightning or got struck. Who knows if we'd live, right? But it was really cool. And the point was, I mean, me telling you about the other little rabbit, he was only this big, like a little tiny guy, like a little bigger than, no, smaller than an extra large egg, like smaller, like a large egg, you know, a little bigger. He's like that round. I'm just mowing the grass, and then all of a sudden I see, it's a self-bagger. I see something go shooting out to the side. I'm like, what was that, right? And I just kept going, and then I seen it move. And then I shut the mower down right away, ran over, and it's a little rabbit, man. He starts running away from me, and he goes under the neighbor's fence and behind some rail yards. My neighbor had wooden railway yard. You know how they make the railways with the wood? It's like 4x4. You had a whole bunch of them up against the fence that were black tarred, everything, like ready to go. I probably got them from the train yard for flower beds or something, I have no idea. But I jumped the neighbor's fence to follow the little rabbit, and he went underneath, in between those gripping long planks. And they were like, probably 20, they must have been 24 feet long. They were probably 12 and 12. They were like huge, big long things. So I'm trying to move these things and get him, and the more I'm moving them, there's like 4 of them up against the fence, and you're like this, so I'm spreading them like this. The more I'm making a gap, the more the little guy keeps hopping up away from me, right? So I prayed the little guy to come, like, let me save you, little guy, let me save you. I gotta check to make sure you're not broken and cut. And I finally got him, man. It's in the palm of my hand. It's this little tiny thing, right? And thought I saw something in my hand. Oh yeah, it's water drop. And so I phoned up the vet right away and asked him what to do. They said, you got to get Similac, put it in a little syringe. You can get it all down the street at Shoppers Drug Mart. I did it and went down there, got that stuff, started giving it to him. He took to it like I didn't even have to force it in his mouth or nothing. Little tiny drops on his lips, and he started licking. So I just put another drop and keep licking. And I raised him, man. I raised him to be like a full-grown rabbit. Let him go in the backyard right where I found him. And then he hung around for years and years and years, right? And then at the end of his life, he got hit by a car. We've seen him out front. Somebody hit him. Poor little guy, rest his soul. But yeah, it's kind of cool. So anyways, live from under the umbrella turned out to be a long story. It's so peaceful. It's awesome. I keep thinking I'm hearing someone, man, but I don't see anybody. I was hooting for the owl, the great horned owl. One of them last night was over there, came back and hooted at me. And yeah, I forgot. A screech owl, 2 nights ago, not last night, the night before. The biggest one I've seen in my life. He was like probably 200, 300 feet away in a tree, in one of the tallest trees way up in the silhouette of the sky, and he was huge. And it was a screech owl. They only get like 6 inches, 6-8 inches. Getting soaked. So I was gonna pull out my camera, but I thought, no, man, I'm just gonna have the experience with him, right? I didn't know he was big. I couldn't see him at first. I went walking further on the trail from my house when I got back from the store, because I wanted to see if I could see him. So I was doing the screech owl call, you know, like that, and they like it. And so just when I was giving up, I hear him. I was walking back, I hear him, right? So, and that's the way it happens a lot. When you're leaving, they'll let you know they're there. So as I'm leaving, I'm sticking out with them, and I couldn't see him. And then I was going to pull out the camera, but I thought, no, I'm going to have my moment with him, because I don't film everything, right? And sure enough, man, he was like way up in the tree, and I was gonna film him again. I thought I gotta get this on film, and I was like, no, man, just enjoy the experience. And I had my arm out, right, trying to see if he'd come, because some of the other ones from 3 years, they knew me for 3 years. I put my arm out all the time, see if they'd come. All right, so they know me, and the one would fly under my arm, above my head, but he never had the balls to land on me. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, this one last night, he was huge. He was the biggest screech owl I've ever seen in my life. He was a little like a small great horned owl. And the great horned owls are the biggest ones here in North America. I'm pretty sure, unless the snowy owl is one of the two. And those are my buds, man. The great horned owls. I love them. They're awesome. Yeah, I miss them. I should go back. And it's High Park. That's where it was, High Park, Toronto. And then the whole family got to see me. There's one thing, I think I titled it Owl Orgy, I think. Oh yeah, it might have been taken down by YouTube because of the title, out of all those videos. But literally, it was like every owl in the park showed up when I was leaving, again, when I'm heading out. And they were at the football field, all on top of all the lamps. And then they all started mating with each other. Especially the one guy, he kept going from lady to lady to lady, impregnating them all. It was cool. Did you hear that noise? It must be an animal. It's like a noise. Anyways, 11:33, 11:36. Fly from under the umbrella. Okay. Hope you enjoyed it. Much love. God bless.